So we have a Civic in here for some air ride. I am gonna stay out of the way because they're already working on it. And what we're doing here at this point, what you see right now, we're actually doing a couple things. One, we're already starting to take apart the suspension on the car. So you're gonna hear some loud noises. There you go. The other thing we're doing is we're making sure everything that we have, or that we should have, is here. The problem is, or what we're trying to not have a problem with, is if we're missing anything, to find out in a day or two. So right now we did find out that we are missing something. We're trying to get a hold of Airlift to see if they not only have the item in stock, how fast we can get it. And what you don't see behind the scenes is we are going to contact the customer. We are going to let him know what we need, why we need it, and go from there. So that's it right now. I am going to get more footage of this vehicle. I might also do a whole special little clip that I did last time on the air ride we did, featuring everything on this setup. This is a Civic, but it is the non-SI version, which is fine, and I talked about this last week as well, I believe. I can't recall, but I think I made a post on Facebook about it. It's always good. You know, let me say this. I see so many people getting what's the word? I'm trying not to use any swear words. I'm trying to be friendly, because I think, I don't know if YouTube, anyways, I don't know if YouTube changes anything when you swear, but I see so many guys on the internet that get heat, or, you know, well, you don't got an SI, why are you modifying that? Or, you know, you got the base model, like it's slow. Well, of course this air ride suspension is not going to help his speed, but why can't you enjoy your car? Let's say it's a daily driver, it's a daily driven car. Let's say it's a family car. Let's say he has kids. I don't know if he does or not, but you know, as I said it was last week on a Facebook post, you know, people forget what the car community is about, and it's sad at times. You know, back in the message board days, it used to be, you know, people would get stuff, you know, you ask a question and they rip you apart on the message board. Nowadays, it's in the Facebook groups. And it just, you know, it really sucks, because you don't know how the other person is. Let's say he posts a picture of this car after it's all done and he's super excited, and then someone wants to come and, you know, you don't got the SI and this is why this. Why make people feel bad? Be happy for other people. You know, that's what this sport is about. You can call it a sport, you can call it a hobby, you can call it whatever. You kind of get what I'm saying. So we're going to continue on. It's a very, very busy, hectic day. I'll follow up with some more footage. We'll go from there. So sitting in this newer Accord, I did do a video previously, I will link down below, about the failing flex fuel sensors that we have been seeing. This one we believe is failing. PRL sent him out a new one. It did take some time going back and forth with PRL, but we do have one here, so we're going to install it. Right now I am currently just data logging. I'm going to save this data log, and then afterwards, after we replace the sensor, we're going to also data log and see if it's different. So I'll be back after we replace the sensor. So we have the new setup all installed, and then we have the old. This is actually the converter piece, and if you click down below on the other video that I have linked down below, you will see this is another one that we're just documenting. And I'm gonna go into a data log. I'll get a video. I'm already expecting some difference, so let me hop inside and let's see what we got going on. This one is a wrap. Car is currently actually running. See, it changed just a little bit, nothing drastic. We will tell the customer to keep an eye on everything. He has a V2, just to make sure that it doesn't happen again. We will let the company know on the flex fuel sensor if they want the old stuff back, so they can look into it. And as I said before too, there is a link down below explaining exactly what we're finding. So I'm actually driving right now to the shop. We had a person that wanted to work. It's the weekend, we're closed. He wanted to do his own stuff on a couple, I think it was friends or family members' cars. And I'm doing a video here, so I want to just go over something real quick and stuff that you do not see. As I mentioned, I'm going up to the shop because a tech had his own personal stuff that he wanted to do, and I encouraged, and I'm not one of those bosses that's, you know, hey, well, if you're working in my shop, I need to get paid. I'm not like that at all. I want to see other people succeed. There's enough work to go around for everybody, and you know, I know these are friends or closer family members or whatever, so I'm going there because I gotta lock up, do all the stuff that I normally need to do. And why I want to mention this is the other week I was told that, you know, I only care about the money, and it's sad to see how much I've changed, and you know, I grew something into this, and I've changed. The context was someone was looking for us to chip an ECU. Now, chipping an ECU is completely different than socketing an ECU for S300. If you're not familiar with chipped ECUs and or the actual chip, the main company that produced that chip stopped producing. I don't know if they went under, but they stopped producing that chip a while ago. So in order to get the chip, and we knew about this wasn't, you know, something that happened overnight. In order to get the chip, we can't get them anymore. So ultimately, since chipped ECUs are not as popular as they were, and since we can't actually get the chip, we discontinued the service of socketing it. So of course he was upset, and that's where he, you know, made the comment where he said all I care about now is, you know, is money. And you know, I guess he was kind of referring to the little guy, or you know, maybe a lesser, maybe a smaller build. They would use an inexpensive ECU. But the whole thing about it, if you think about it, if I only cared about money, then I would have just took his money and said, yeah, I'll do it. The problem is we're not set up fully to socket, chip an ECU and then test it afterwards. We don't have all the components, and then he said he can buy them and supply them. Well, we don't do that on certain stuff. You know, if you've heard me before, if you watch my videos, say, hey, yeah, you can bring your own parts, and you know, we don't mind that. On some stuff though, it's not an option, because if you bring us lesser quality parts and we install them and something goes wrong, guess who gets the blame? And it doesn't even matter if it wasn't our fault. And with that being said, if I don't feel confident in something, where I want to say this too, because some people might be watching, well, you can get the chips on Amazon, or you can get it's not the same. It's not the same thing of what that company used to produce. The quality is not there. A lot of the chips on Amazon, you burn it once and then they're done for. Or we've had some customers out the box bring their chips if the computer comes in, and you know, back in the day when we used to do a lot of, we still tune chipped ECUs. We still offer that aspect of everything. But back in the day, we would have people that would be bringing ECUs in, or you know, hey, a chip, and you can tell lesser quality stuff. It seemed like it was, you know, you can get them on Amazon, but the quality is not there. And when it comes to that, I'm not going to sacrifice putting anything out there that I'm not happy with. So it has nothing to do with, you know, where we started and now we're here and we're just putting our nose down on people that run chipped ECUs and you should run an S300 because of this. It's not about that. It's about producing a quality product that I can stand by, and that's where it's at. So as I'm going to do this on my free personal time that involves family, allowing somebody else to make money, you know, and grow in that sense, I just felt like whipping out the camera. And I also have a new phone mount on my, that the phone is on, so we're gonna see how much it bounces around. So, you know, just a little rant in between. And as I said before in my other videos, I am trying to get more clips. So, you know, some people like to hear me talk, some people don't. It's an in-between. So we are currently working on a Jaguar. This exhaust, I was told, is a $4,000 exhaust system. We got the car right now up in the air. I will do a quick video on that as well. Looks like it has some electronic cutouts and whatnot. It didn't come with instructions though. So for the price and whatnot, it didn't come with instructions. So yeah, we are trying to see if we can find any instructions just to make things a little simpler. And go from there. So in case you can't tell, we are underneath the car right now. We did not get a before sound clip on it, but if you do own one of these cars, well then you already know what the before sounds like. So we're gonna get this old exhaust off, new one in, and we'll let you hear a clip of how it sounds afterwards. So we're having a couple problems with this exhaust. Number one, look how the hanger is sitting. It does not want to sit. It should come out a little bit more. Now we've been really trying to work with this and rotating this thing to get it where it wants to be, and I'll show you why. But also keep in mind, there's one hanger on this side, there's not one on the other. So what I was going to go into now is the exhaust cutout. If you go back in the video, you're going to see it was actually on the other side, on this side. So now we have to figure out the wiring situation, because it's not where the actual OEM harness is, and it's a little dark because my camera's having a hard time focusing with the light outside. But so now we have to worry about that, or figure that out. The other thing, and this side you can see cut out over here, we actually had to flip a hanger too around that was not correct. And what I was saying too, before somebody says, well, why don't you switch this side with that side? As I said, once again, you go back to here in the hanger situation. If this was over here anyway, there's no hanger over here. So, and the other thing too, it's going to be maybe hard to pick up. This side is fairly even. This side might be a little bit higher, where we have to kind of, you know, level it. This side, almost the opposite. This side is a little bit lower, and we've been trying to get it level to where it should be. Exactly. So we're happy. So the customer's happy. The problem is, once we start rotating this more, we're going to start hitting this. We're very, very close to hitting that. And, you know, I said it before, how much this exhaust system costs, but in reality, it doesn't matter how much it costs. You expect things to fit when they're made from a quality company. Different story if you're, you know, you're buying a $200 exhaust on eBay or Amazon. Well, you know, you're probably going to have fitment issues. But, you know, you're buying an exhaust like this, or even an $800, $900 exhaust, or, you know, whatever. If it's built by a quality company, we shouldn't be running into these issues. And I will say it again, we had no luck finding instructions online. No instructions were provided from us. But this also should kind of go to show you where this should be a simple install. You know, it's an exhaust system, but we're running into small issues like this, which we're going to try to rectify and do our best. But we will also explain to the customer what is going on, so he knows and he's aware. So for the exhaust clip, you should be able to tell when the cutout is open and not. There's a pretty big difference. You can hear it. Definitely sounds a lot more aggressive. I did ask one of the techs to get a video for me. I did appreciate that he got it for me. I did tell him next time just to rotate the phone. But nonetheless, the customer was super happy, even with a little bit of a fitment issue. And then when he did come and try to connect Bluetooth on his app, I was told that he was having a little bit of an issue. But you know, when I looked at the actual app on the App Store, the reviews didn't seem that great. This last little clip too, quick little background. I was selling an air compressor that I had here. I kept telling myself I was going to fix it. It just I never got to it. Ended up selling it for a really good price. My office manager came to help me load it up because it was the weekend, and he brought his daughter. And when I was driving the forklift out, it seemed like his daughter was a little bit interested in the actual forklift. So I asked her if she wanted to drive it. She instantly said yes, of course. And during the whole time where her dad was supposed to be getting video, he was talking to the person that we sold it to. So I took my camera out. I of course asked her. I said, "Hey, you don't mind if I get some video?" And she did not. I ultimately said, "I want to send it to your dad," and then I did get the permission of her parents as well that I can post this up here. So enjoy this little extra bonus clip, and it's nice to see somebody get so excited over something like a forklift. So thanks for watching. And your dad's getting some video too. That's what I wanted to get some video and make sure. He was talking earlier. So how do you like it?
I love it.
You want one instead of a car, you said?
Yep.
There you go.
Is that for Angel?
I just want to do a really quick little follow-up on that, and this is the ending part of the video. When I said it was nice to see her enjoy the forklift, what I meant in general is whenever a kid comes here, whether it be with their parent or a sibling, it's nice to see them excited about what we do. And I have basically almost an unwritten policy in place that when a child does come in, we make sure that we give them something, whether it be a little keychain, a sticker. We have Hot Wheels actually in our display case that are brand new that we'll give to them. And it's actually really funny when we'll see like little kids take out their phone and they're like secretly taking pictures. When I see something like that, I'll walk over to them and be like, hey, no, take pictures and enjoy this. Let me pop the hood for you. Let me show you. Let me just, explain what this is and that is. And, it's truly what it's all about. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. Please like, share, comment. I've been getting awesome comments. The feedback has been awesome too. I'm really trying hard to keep updating at least one video a week. I'm gonna try to do two, but it's just what time allows. Thanks everyone.